Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. Today, we're heading out into the galaxy as the Vodyani, which is this whole thing is happening right here. These guys play pretty strangely, and honestly, looking at their traits and trying to put together some strategies in my head, I have a couple of different branches that I'd like to explore. We may play a couple of Vodyani games in a row, just to kind of feel out some of the different paths that are available to us. But the deal with these guys is that they are shipbound. The Vodyani population live in these big arc ships, and we saw some of these in our previous games. We had to blow up a bunch of them in the UE game. I don't know if I had to blow up a bunch of them, but I did blow up a bunch of them. Arcs anchor on an unpopulated system and exploit all of the colonizable planets in the system, but the Vodyani never actually go down to the surface of the planets. They live in the arc and they siphon the resources remotely. Which means that our population mechanics are pretty weird. And we'll talk more about them when we're actually in the game and you can see what I'm saying. And we use Essence. Essence is the name of this Ankh resource. To generate population and create arcs. We are not good at naturally growing population, so we'll probably build our population out of Essence mostly. I think Essence is this energy stuff that is filling her and also sort of arcing off of her all over the place. And our arcs can be moved. If we start the game on kind of a weak system and we find another better system nearby, we can actually just pick up our whole society and move over there. And once we have multiple arcs, we can potentially move them around. In some ways, it feels a little bit like the mobile cities mechanic that the roving clans have in Endless Legend. And anybody who watched my Endless Legend series will know I had no idea what to do with that, and I never found a good use for it. This one, I think, is a little bit more straightforward, but please, if you see opportunities for me to make good use of moving a developed arc to a new system, I might miss them. Please do note those in the comments. Help me improve. This is our population unit. Our population unit is fantastic, but we're going to get a lot less pop than other nations do, other civilizations do. So we get +4 everything except influence, but our existence crashes the food levels of systems. Our whole empire is going to be Vodyani, probably. I don't know if it's even possible for us to have other population units. I don't think it is. Because again, we live in the arcs, and listen, we'll get into it. Our ships are fast. Our infantry are mighty. Our heroes are legendary. That symbol there, minus 50%, is upkeep. We pay less upkeep on our heroes. And we get extra approval just from having taken system developments. We start on a planet that has a little bit of extra production per citizen. You know how I feel about that. We are a federation, so +1 system before all overcolonization per hero, allowing us to expand quite a bit. And yes, this does work differently than the last time we were a federation. In the UE game, there was a patch between then and now that updated the governments. And we start with a religious government, and in fact, we have some special Vodyani-specific versions of the religious laws. Anyway, let's get into it. We're going to be playing with these colors and these settings. Once again, we're playing with 9 empires in a 10-empire galaxy. I moved us to an elliptical galaxy with 4 sectors this time. I've never played this galaxy shape either. This ought to be interesting. Anyway, let's have at it. Like I said, I don't exactly know what I'm doing, and some people recommended in the comments of previous videos that I watch some guides before recording this one, and I elected not to do that because I wanna display the sort of the full process of discovery as I try to figure this out. But after the first game as Vodyani, if I do think that we want to branch out and try some new strategies, I'll watch some guides then. I'm sure 4X Alchemist has something to say. Hey game, I finished talking, you need to... Video games are terrible production partners. They're just never thinking about what's best for the video.
We once had a home world, but we were poor caretakers. Had we not discovered the virtual relics, our tale would have ended there. By their grace, we were elevated, and we strive to serve their memory. Yet, in our moment of exaltation, a false prophet arose. The heretics summoned ancient demons and corrupted the faithful. But we refuse his lies and reject his accusations. We will see the heretic drown in his blasphemies. He will not break our will and bring ruin on our church. Only then can we shed our mortal cloth and rise endless.
So the heretic that is mentioned there is Isyander, the guy who runs the academy, and that whole we've seen the beginnings of that academy quest begin to emerge at the end of several of our games. There's a cool plot going on there, and there's an event that happens in that quest that sort of changes the shape of the game. And unfortunately, it starts... I don't believe that it has anything to do with anything other than the turn timer. Like, it just starts around turn 130 or 140 every game. And the game's over by then. Like, it's... You generally, like, are in full victory mode by 120, sort of. And, like, the game is going to be over before 150 almost always, so... It's kind of a bummer that it starts so late. Anyway, let's focus. Let's have a look at our initial system here. So I'm noticing that we only have one colonizable planet. I don't love that. Also, we're in some kind of, like, dusty situation here. Oh yeah, we're toward the center of the galaxy, so everything looks like it has a layer of fog in front of it, which is kind of bugging me. Alright, so here we have a lava planet with microfactories. Ooh. This is a good world. It's worth noting that anything that gives plus population slots doesn't actually work for us because of how our weird population works. So, this planet doesn't actually have 3 population slots, probably. I don't know, it actually might. But the reason we see 3 population slots here is because that's the population that our arc can hold. A level 1 arc can have up to 3 population in it. Each planet that is hospitable to us in a system where we have an anchored arc will be automatically colonized, and it will have its maximum population set to the max population of our arc, and its current population set to the current population of the arc. When we build our second Vodyani citizen, we'll have 2 Vodyani working each hospitable planet. That's the way it works. The population stays on the arc, and effectively harvests each planet that we have the tech to harvest from. Unfortunately, this is a pretty bad pull for us. I've seen starts where the Vodyani is playing around with the game like last time, where you got to start with multiple systems colonized. So you can see we effectively have 10 food here after applying our penalty, and that means it's going to take forever for a new unit of population to appear. I'm not sure if it's possible to get enough food to really overcome the penalty and make your population growth rate reasonable, but what we can do is this. We can spend essence to make population, and the cost of this is based on the current population of the arc. It scales up, so the making the 3rd citizen of the arc costs 500, making the 4th costs 750. This is how we're going to be making most of our population. We have a converter that allows us to... It's one of those infinite turns. Just sits in your construction queue and prevents you from making things, but it will convert most of our essence, or most of our dust, into essence. It's not the best way to go. Obviously, we prefer to be building things on our systems. For now, we're just going to queue up sort of the basic thing here. I'm not really happy with this start. It's alright. We'll figure it out. The first red purge. Ugh. Alright, let's go ahead and assign our hero here. We're going to do some of the things we're going to do are going to be pretty standard. Generate a little XP for our hero. Only one curiosity to explore is also not great for us. And the system has a source of transvine, but no other luxuries or strategics. Not amazing. Alright, we have 3 points of movement. I was thinking about firing off our other probe and then retrofitting to buy new probes before moving, but if we fire off the other probe, it will kill all of our movement. So I guess the question is, do we want our do we want to be able to move our scout ship out of the system this turn? Given that we have nowhere, like we have no idea where other planets might be, it might be a good idea for us to just like fire off probes in a lot of directions. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's do this and then step into the ship designer here. I guess, hold on. Before we do that, we should look at this. This is the Leecher. We've seen these in other games, but this is how they actually work. They just have a bunch of utility slots, support slots. They have a pretty high base movement, so you can see the ship has no additional engine module, but just has forward movement from its base hull. And then these things allow you can take a Leecher to a planet and turn on draw essence mode, siphon essence. I don't remember what it's called. There's a button that you can press, and it will just start devouring the essence of the living things on the planet. Any system that is colonized, we can do this to. We just draw the whatever it is, the soup, out of all of the living beings there. Obviously, nobody will like it if we are doing this to them. It does reduce the population of the system because we are actually, we're basically converting them into that stuff and then stuffing them into our weird magic endless suits. So, this is our soup thief. We have one of these modules on our scout ship, and I don't think there's any good reason for it to be here. So we're just going to replace that with another probe module. We're going to retrofit this guy for 30 dust. And then we are going to launch a lot of things. Because we're already at 0 movement, so we may as well. Alright. So now that we have a pair of probe modules, we have a maximum stock of 4 probes, and we generate 1 every turn rather than 1 every other turn. We could do another retrofit here. We could basically spend all of our money just fanning probes out. I kind of think that's an okay thing to do here. We do want to retrofit our arc as well, but the base cost of doing that is quite high, I believe. Like I said, listen, we're gonna discover some things. We're gonna start playing this sort of similarly to other factions, and then we're gonna see. Did I? Okay, I did update the design. Ah, it's just too expensive of a change. Okay, fair enough. I guess we are not firing any more probes this turn. So, last ship design thing before we move on. The Arc. The Arc can install a bunch of Arc-unique modules that just produce extra resources. Right now, it's outfitted with a +10 science module and a +10 essence module. Obviously, it's going to be pretty important for us to improve these, and we will do that in the science quadrant of the tech wheel. You can see, yeah, there's level 2 versions of these modules scattered around. All must tithe, all must study. Flat bonuses and percentage scaling bonuses, and eventually level 3 versions of them that are even more significant. We might play a pretty science-focused game this first time out. I don't know. I think it's going to depend a lot on what we find, I guess. So let's have our Leecher head out here. It looks like we have a minor faction over this way, which is good for us because we can drink from them. So our basic law is Righteous Fury. We can attack and invade in enemy territory while being at Cold War. This is... Because of the way our population works, this doesn't quite do what it looks like it does. It doesn't let us just steal systems from people easily, because we can only inhabit systems by anchoring arcs there. If we attack somebody and beat their defenses on a system, all we do is destroy their civilization there, and the system becomes a quote-unquote hunting ground. And you can probably work through the horrible, horrible implications of that yourself. We're monsters, by the way, just so that everything's clear here. We're going to take all of the stuff out of the inside of other people. We're just going to take our big old galactic straw, stick it into their soul, I guess, and drink out all of the, all of the people soup. So we have a couple of options for other laws here. Of course, we have the basic stuff that's available to everybody. The Cram Exam Act is pretty great in the early going because this penalty is relatively small, while this bonus, although also being smallish in an absolute sense, is considerable relative to the amount of science you're producing in the early game. This can often be quite a bit of extra stuff. But I think, actually, I'm going to go for species stability. So this is a Vodyani specific law, obviously. Punishment for the sins of the lesser races command. We produce extra essence on our systems and extra essence from each Vodyani. With enough support, Divine Edict, backed up by passages of malleable meaning from the Empire's most holy texts, can help to pass a most controversial law that only the true race of the Empire be allowed to grow. This is the text. So there's a law, the basic religious law, the first religious law for most people, is that only your species, only your core population type is allowed to grow. Obviously, our effects are a little bit different, and the text doesn't super apply. But you can probably work through the horrible implications of this as well. Alright, so I'm excited to see a minor faction nearby. Oh, one other thing we should do before we go anywhere is check out our population details. Alright, our population's favored luxury resource is Transvine, which is lucky because we have some Transvine in our system. We need to get on this. We want to have our population boosted a lot. It's going to be very easy to do because our population level is going to stay low, right? And look at these yields. We could double these. We could double these yields. I don't know if it doubles the penalty. I hope not. I think our people can still starve. Maybe. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. But the point is, let's get Transvine. Okay, I think that was everything I wanted to do. We have not picked a research yet. Sorry. I mean, I almost always go xenolinguistics first because xeno-industrial infrastructure is a big, big boost early on. Fertile and temperate planets are not a thing that we actually have access to. So, for the moment, xeno-industrial infrastructure would actually only be 10 extra industry. Our capital building is called the Cathedral of All Worldly Affairs. Huh. Maybe we don't want to go that way. We also don't have any titanium to mine, so... Metallurgy will give us extra industry on planets with strategic deposits. Not great for us. And we do still need industry. But maybe the right way to do this is, like, where's the... Yeah, maybe the right way to do this is to go through rare earth foams to PEV scale accelerators and get Alma Serve online first. And that'll play into awarding us some extra settling ability. Arid and Mediterranean. What we really need is lava. Lava's over here, right? Some of the settling techs are a little bit different per player. Yeah, we need this very badly. Honestly, though, there's some chance, given that our home system is not awesome, there's some chance we just pick up and move, right? Remember, any system improvements we're building are improvements to the arc, not improvements to the system. So we can just pick them up and take them with us to somewhere a little bit more fertile. I think this is going to be our plan for right now. So we are on plus 27 essence per turn. 250 for our first extra point of population, 500 for the next extra point of population, and a full 800 for a new arc. Whatever your essence cap is, that's how much it costs you to build an ark. The ark has no construction, no industry cost. It always takes a turn. And it costs whatever your essence cap currently is. When we build our first ark, the essence cap will double. We build the next ark. I don't remember if it doubles again or if it just goes up by 800 each time. But the point is, they'll get more and more expensive. We'll figure it out. I do not think this is a very good start, although I do like that we started with our luxury resource. What is that? I think that's a new... Ooh. Well, we found a place we might want to move to. Sowers. This is definitely one of the new minor factions added by the little expansion packs that just came out. I think the Sowers might have been a playable race from the first Endless Space game. This name is definitely familiar to me. They might have just been a minor faction there as well. Anyway, cut off from their Endless Masters eons ago, when the Dust Wars erased all Endless from the galaxy, the Sowers are lost children still pining for their creator's return. Originally built to terraform an uninhabitable rocky world and make it suitable for endless colonization, the Sowers are coordinated robotic machines with a relentless drive and energy. When their masters didn't respond to their signals after they'd made a verdant paradise, and they realized they were alone, a great existential crisis assailed the Sowers. Only when their crisis passed... Sorry, I scrolled down too much and skipped a line. Only when the creed named the Calling established itself among the Sowers did their crisis pass. They would travel the galaxy, one barren planet at a time, turning each into a magnificent garden, where they believe one truth above all others: one day the Endless will return. They make +2 food, and they remove depletion points. Oh, that's interesting. So we saw a little bit of this, briefly, in one of the games. I don't remember which one. But the way Cravers work is they really mine a ton of resources out of all their planets. They have great production. But they also add depletion points to the planet. And every planet has a maximum amount of depletion points it can have. And when it hits that cap, the planet is depleted and produces far, far fewer points of resources. The Cravers basically just strip mine everything out of their worlds. So if you were playing Cravers and you could find some Sowers, they can undo the damage. Slowly, but that's really interesting. And their trait is +25 food per sterile, +2 all resources per population on planets with reduced anomalies. So that's negative anomalies that you've used the technology to remove the negative effect of, or to negate, or neutral anomalies that you've used the tech to remove the negative effects of. That's very interesting. Well, first contact is free. Hello, guys. These guys are neat. I wonder what their collection bonuses are. Well, this is not a good game for finding that out. We're going to be doing some other things with them. I mean, I kind of think I want to just pick up and move over here. So we have an inhospitable tiny ash planet, a large desert that we also cannot inhabit, but then an irradiated medium Terran world. Ooh, a small ocean with coral reefs. There's some crummy anomalies out here too. The strong magnetic field reduces science and industry. It's worth noting that per population penalties are relatively weak with these guys, as are per population bonuses, because our population is going to be so much smaller. Flat bonuses are much more meaningful. Oof, -4 approval. I don't know if I do want to move over here. Very poor industry over here. What is Cygnus outputting for us right now? 6236. The thing is, if we put down over here, we'd effectively have 3 points of population immediately. Yeah, we're moving. Let's just unanchor and drive our whole civilization over to this system. I think we probably lost the point of production that we'd put into the into that thing. No, in fact, we didn't. It remembered our queue, and it has, yeah, it maintained the population, or it maintained the production we'd already spent. Okay, I feel alright about that. We're going to want to come back and start getting Transvine at some point, and by come back, I mean move our second arc over to Cygnus and work it. I think this was the right thing to do. Somebody will yell at me a lot in the comments and let me know if I'm wrong. And then I kind of think we're going to go and do some leeching. We don't have the influence to really make friends with these guys anyway, so... it probably goes without saying, but just so it's clear, you do not gain approval from minor civilizations if you are leeching them. Alright, probes are discovering stuff. Oh, hey. We should look at the legendary deeds here. So, again, exploring 50% of the galaxy is pretty non-trivial. You can't see that one. This one is... Okay, yeah. This one is Build This Wonder. Alright. Somebody discovered the Academy already. They started right on top of it. We've discovered a nebula extremely far away from our systems. And we've arrived here. So, Harvest Essence. Yep, that's the name of that thing. Plus 50 per turn. You can see it's a very significant amount. You can also see that we're producing 31 essence per turn now, before that, rather than the 27 we were producing before. That's because, in this system, our 1 point of population is working as 3 points, because there are 3 planets we can harvest. It's kind of a weird system. It takes a little while to adjust to the implications of it, which is why I will not be doing a fantastic job right away. And let's get our hero searching some anomalies over here. Obviously, we're going to prioritize the ones on our colonized planets. In fact, all of the curiosities to search are on our colonized planets. Okay, we found some mushrooms. That's fine. And the Academy power increased. It seemed to be when we did that. You know, I don't actually know how that works. When new heroes are recruited, they are recruited at the level of the Academy, and the Academy's level goes up over time, but I don't actually know what the mechanics of the level increase are. Like, does it go up as people expand and search and create resources? I kind of assumed it was based on time. We'll have to pay more attention to it in future games. I don't know. So, obviously, we'll be bringing this hero back to be a governor pretty soon. Actually, is that obvious? What are you? You are a guardian. Maybe this hero should just stay a fleet hero, actually. I'm not sure that I want to level up a guardian. Like, they don't really get great governor skills. Vox Populi is pretty good, but... Yeah, you know, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to end up at war with people, because we're probably going to, you know, drink all their soup. So... yeah, let's take fleet skills. Well, hold on. If we're going to take fleet skills, maybe I want to take this early. I'm assuming that experience per turn on fleet doesn't affect the hero. It probably just affects the ships under your command. But like extra vision range for the scouting fleet seems like a good thing. Yeah, maybe you're just staying out there. Our second hero can be a governor. Maybe they'll be better suited to it. We definitely don't want you to leave. I want you to stay right here until you generate another probe and then search the other curiosity. Oh, we've encountered another... Ooh, Harmony. These guys are definitely a playable faction from the first Endless Space. I know this one. +2 science on strategic resource, +2 food on strategic resource. And their assimilation trait is -20% system dust upkeep per deposit on systems. I'm assuming it means strategic deposit. It doesn't actually say strategic, but given the way all their other stuff works. Let's say hi to them too. You know, with these guys, maybe it is worth trying to generate a little bit of favor. We're not going to be drinking them, at least not right away, because they're pretty far off. Harmony may predate the Endless. However, as they often live in the voids between stars, there has been little organized study of the species. It is difficult to categorize them in terms of traditional definitions of life, due to their mineral nature. So yeah, they're like people who are made of crystals. Sort of people. However, they appear to reason, respond to stimuli, and move, although their ability to reproduce is unknown. As a group, they are seeking the core of the universe, a place where the great resonating frequencies of stars and planets, matter and energy are said to chime in an apparently perfect harmony. Weird. Weird stuff. They have Transvine. We need Transvine. Ooh, Genomics. We need that too. Like I said, flat bonuses. Very powerful. These guys are cool. This is just a cool design for a faction. I gotta say, I'm having a really good time with this game since I came back to it. Alright, I guess let's head this way. Alright, some stuff to search over there. That's cool. Am I being silly with this guy? Let's see here. Plus 5% damage on fleet, plus 10 influence on system. That would be nice to have, I guess. I'm wondering if it's silly to not make your first hero a governor. Honestly, I don't think I've ever even considered it before. You can see here the Essence Siphon. Destroy... Oh, our faction quest has popped, and it has pirate fleets in it. Brother Atab was caught gorging on the slaves today. He shall be forbidden sustenance for 3 days, his suit receptors deactivated. All must obey the laws. It is a great and lonely thing to rule the Vodyani Protectorate, a heavy responsibility that I wear with pride. We have but our faith and our suits, our cloth, which protects and maintains our spirits during our holy efforts, to guide the faithful, discipline those who stray, and punish those who preach heresy. And of all those heretics who must be punished, Isyander Shumed, the infidel, is the greatest. He is also my brother, he who fomented a rebellion, freed the slaves, stole a ship, and crippled the Protectorate for decades. He who discovered the... I should have looked this up. I don't know if this word's pronounced tabernacle or tabernacle. I'm going to say tabernacle. Of lies, and believed every word of it. The day will come when all deeds are counted and tallied in the great network that binds us together, and on that day the infidel will burn, even if it must be by my own hand, even if he is my brother. But that day is not yet come, and by their will I hope it does not come soon, for we have much to prepare, a system to pacify, a new galaxy to civilize, the ignorant to convert, the infidel to punish. The rigors of faith permit us no rest. My faith burns with the flame of 1,000 suns, and no power in the galaxy will deter me. The Prestors and Custos will see to the faithful. I must look outward to secure our new home. Those who are here must come to accept us and learn our ways. Our first step is to deal with those who cannot understand reason, history, and the laws. They are pirates, and shall be dealt with, as will all brigands and unbelievers, which is to say, that we shall drink them. So we have to destroy some indicated pirate fleets. We're going to get a bunch of Hyperium. Given that we have no strategic resource income right now, this 50 Hyperium might actually be pretty important to us. So, here and on Cran, it looks like. We might have to get free movement drives to do this. Oh well, anyway. We have stealth, we're doing it. We're focused right now. Or at least we should be. I just have the one probe. I guess it doesn't really matter what order we search these in, because I'm going to search all of them before leaving for the XP. We have discovered rich soil. Plus 3 food. Well, I mean, I guess that could be okay. Also, we learned a battle tactic. Science from destroyed ships. Pretty useful. We've seen in the previous games that a little bit of war can be a great way to boost your science if you use those ship analyzer modules, and a battle tactic to go with it certainly makes it a powerful linear. Alright, so we just hit our population threshold. I think it would be a good idea for us to proliferate a little bit. If we had found a second system with a couple of habitable worlds, it might be better to just save up and go for a second arc really early, because that way we get the benefit of all of the extra arc support slots. I'm not sure. I don't know if that would have been the right thing to do or not. But I do know that it's definitely not in this situation where we have no good systems. Oh, hello, red player. Also, we discovered that. Okay. Let's say hello to them as well. So sometimes that just making that first contact gives you +1 influence per turn with them. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it happens with temperates. Temperates are naturally easier to befriend. I guess that's probably what it is. These guys are relic peddlers. +5 dust per turn per curiosity discovered. That's a pretty good trait. And then they produce a bunch of dust as well. I'm not going to read all the text associated with all of the minor factions and quests, but, you know, any of the new stuff. I want to at least have a look at it once. Alright, so Holy Proliferation is coming. I think it's important. We finished our tech. We've earned, as well, the Debris Analyzer Support Module and the ability to colonize Mediterranean worlds, which I don't think we don't see any of. We might need more scout ships. We also might need more leech ships. There's a danger to it, right? We are currently abducting. I mean, sometimes the tooltips come right out and say it. We're currently drawing population off of this planet. If you noticed, though, the way this works is these things lower food growth, right? They effectively reduce population growth by, you know, taking some of the population. You can just siphon off all of the population and leave a system fallow, basically. So we have to be a little bit careful about it, especially because, you know, eventually we might want to invite these guys into the Empire, sort of. Minor factions don't join the Vodyani in quite the same way that they join the others. This is a thing we will talk about when it comes up. What have we here? A strong magnetic field. Well, I am familiar with these. We're kind of in the crappy part of the galaxy, it feels like. That's alright, we can find somebody who's in a better way and just take their stuff. Doing alright on science, we're doing alright on money. So you can see now that we've constructed an extra point of population on our arc, it is working all of the planets. So each Holy Proliferation can be a lot of extra resources, provided that you are actually working several planets in each system. And hey, we would get a natural population growth in 36 turns. It might be time to just go for the second arc. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't watch any videos or anything, so I don't know if people have done this math already, but I do like to do the math myself. We'll figure it out. Oh, you know what? We didn't look at our population collection bonuses. So obviously this is just going to be plus ideology. This is plus 5% all resources on all systems that have Vodyani. So plus 5% influence or resources on all of our systems. And then at 50, double hero healing rate. That's not a very good one. This is cool. It's actually going to be fairly difficult to get to 20 pop, but we'll figure it out. Oh, so I talked about it being expensive to refit the arc. I believe that is the case. Let's try adding another... Let's see. Do I want to add another 10 essence per turn, or would I rather get like more science? Or maybe more production. I do love early production. Like if we did this, what would be the cost of that change? 317. Okay, we can do that next turn. What if we change the modules even more? Like, right now it has engines, but it doesn't need engines. It's just going to sit here on this system. So what if we put in another module? We could really focus on science to try to get to the next set of modules. That's probably a good idea. Is that change much more expensive? It is, but it's also good. And that's not actually that many extra turns of dust production. Let's do that. I'm sure it'll be cheaper to do the changes all at once than do one and then do the other. There seems to be a pretty large base cost to changing the arc, which we have observed here. Oh, apparently I hadn't done this yet on this system. What have we discovered? Oh! Once a base or battleground of the Endless Civilizations. A lot of science and dust to be found. Interesting. So there are 2 barren worlds here. If we got colonization of barren, we would immediately be able to do pretty well here. It's on this side, I think? Where's barren? Alright, well, let's use the thing here. Oh, it's over here. Adaptive bureaucracies, which we have the prereq for. Why don't we grab that? This system may be our next focus. We will come back and we will inhabit Cygnus, I swear. Okay, so we actually have temperate, fertile worlds now. So not only is public-private partnerships good, but this makes xenolinguistics totally worth getting. I think this much worth getting, probably. And we're about to have Almost Serve 2 available, so actually we'll slot that instead of... Yeah, we'll reconfigure our arc in a second here. Alright, did we finish this system? We did. Well, why don't we send a probe along this star lane, and then move along this one. Discovering new systems, your fleet discovering new systems while your hero is in it, is also a source of XP. Okay. So let's refigure our arc a little bit. At the very least, we do this. It looks like the cost of the upgraded modules isn't actually higher. So that being the case, maybe we want to lean into the one upgraded module that we have access to. 10 extra essence per turn really doesn't feel like a lot. I wonder if we should replace this. If we do replace that, we won't be able to make the upgrade next turn. And right now we are getting some value. We're getting some value from the slot. What I'm doing right now with this upgrade is pure gain. If we replace either of the existing modules, then we're not gaining as much, right? Because we're losing something in exchange. I'm comfortable making this upgrade, and then we'll figure out the next upgrade afterward. We're just kind of fiddling around and experimenting right now. Is this all one constellation? No, our constellation is Phoenix. This one over here is Pavo. So it started our pirates kind of far away from us. Unfortunately, the Phoenix constellation, 15% food is not a bonus that we particularly care for. That's a little awkward. Alright, so we do that. We do this. And now we will have the production necessary to make some big moves. All of the planets that we're currently inhabiting here have anomalies. We're going to be able to make some ships, which we will need to do to fight the pirates, and also, at some point we're going to run out of stuff to explore here. We're going to want our hero to be in command of some military ships. So what did we get? We found a battle tactic that, yeah, I don't love this one. You know, I like it when my ships survive. But I guess if you're fighting a war against a technologically superior opponent, you know you're going to lose ships. A strategy like that, a tactic like that, could make that card useful. So next turn we're going to have the essence necessary to put up another point of population, but I wonder if we'd be better off just making the second, holding off, making the second arc, because we have 2 worlds over here we're about to be able to inhabit. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the second arc before I make another point of population. Okay, hello. Diuvians. +5 food on gas. That's interesting. And plus science. Okay. Hello. We'll just slowly let our approval creep up with some of the factions of the galaxy here. We're not producing enough influence to really push it super hard. And you can see we have reduced the population here. We might have to move our leech ships over to Aova, actually. We have a pirate den to deal with. I wonder if we can leech from pirates. That would seem to be a pretty good way to deal with them. After we finish the arc, maybe we'll move the Essence ship over and try that. We're going to want some military ships to do that with, though. Let's get our basic level of military stuff. And that will unlock an extra law slot for us, which will be cool. Alright, well, the sowers have constructed some military ships. They're not running us off. I'm going to sit right here and keep leeching until they make us leave. We can dip in here and explore a curiosity for them, which they will appreciate. Oh, hey, look, titanium. It does exist. The rejuvenation field. Oh, I wonder if the vaulters are close. I don't know if you can find rejuvenation fields aside from the one that the vaulters start on. It might be unique. I don't think I've ever seen another one. Well, we'll see. You know, when we make the new arc, we may want to redesign it a little bit because I took the engine out. we may need to fix that. We'll see what the base movement speed of the arc is. So plus 20% shield capacity on your own ship, or plus fleet health. I think health for the entire fleet is obviously the right play, and it will only become more right as the game goes on. Okay, what have we here? Micro factories. All right. That might be our vaulters. I'm going to send a probe off this way, trying to figure out what the angle is to maximize the odds of hitting whatever's up this star lane and catching whatever's up this one at the same time. I'm going to shoot it like this. You can never tell how long a star lane is going to be. And then we're going to head this way. So, we can now build an arc. Let's build a new arc design. Honestly, I'm not getting a lot of value out of these modules now. 10 is such a small amount. I mean, I guess it is more than 10% of our total essence production. Maybe I should cut, like, the science module instead. Because without this, we have 3 movement. I guess 3 movement's not so bad. How long is this route that we have to run? That's kind of long. Let's see. You have 4 move. And it would take you 3 turns to traverse it, and I think that... Oh, go back to leeching. This is longer than this is, but not a huge amount. I think it's probably fine. If it takes them 3 turns to get there, that's not the end of the world. That's effectively like building 2 points of population, right? In terms of leeching. Obviously, building a population here is like building 3, but we also get the benefit of the modules from the new arc. I think building a new arc here was right. I think. Canis has been pirate marked by somebody. Which means we have two neighbors. These people who are probably the vaulters, and then some other people who don't like whoever these people are. We actually... No, we have not met them. We've not actually seen them with our probes, so we can't send a message. I say let's lean on these guys, praise-wise, just because they're the furthest from us, so we're least likely to want to devour them anytime soon. We throw a little bit more praise this way, or we could do it with these guys. Oh no, while we're still gaining with them, it's more expensive. Yeah, alright, let's throw a little bit more praise this way. Alright. I think things are going okay. So we now have the ability to make ships. We also gained a law slot here. We probably don't want to run another law that costs influence because we're just barely positive. Our current approval level is 42. Shoot, I don't remember what the amount is that makes you discontent. I guess we're about to gain 10 approval here. We can probably run Cram Exam Act. We're at 42 right now. Throw that on. We drop to 32. Drop by 10? Huh. I was kind of curious whether it was going to be -6 or -12, but it was -10. That's weird. Anyway, I think the science is worthwhile. Now let's figure out what we're researching with it. We probably want to keep pushing science until we can get some of the better modules. Almost study is great, obviously. Where's the next? Let's see. Accelerated warp drive. Tithe and serve. Worship. Okay, here's the next essence generator. As you can see, it is considerably more effective. It's paired with the next essence drainer as well. This is a pretty high priority for us then, I think, but we also need system development. And the ability to colonize lava worlds. And additional module slots for all of our arcs. That's not bad. We're making pretty good money. Why don't we get access to the marketplace? And actually, colonizing Ash Worlds is good for us, too. Alright, so let's do this way. Because, right, there's an Ash World in this system. No, there's not. Where's the Ash World? There's an Ash World here. Okay. Down here, it's snow and lava. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to work our way up to here, and we're going to get maximized exploitation. I feel like we encounter a lot more hot worlds than any other type in our games. Probably just, you know, weird probability. Is that a colony ship? No, it is a scout ship, and it is in fact Vaulters. That is a Vaulter ship design. Okay, we've been starting near the Vaulters a lot. They're sometimes difficult to deal with. Okay, yeah, we're managing to remain content. Cram Exam Act is fine. Oh, we've discovered a unique planet. Wow. That is a lot of food and industry and influence. And it's in a system with a lava world that we would be able to colonize soon. Apparently there was actually nothing to that signal curiosity. Huh. It's unusual. Okay, the Harmony like us now and are providing us with some of their resources. I kind of think we want to grab this. Like, it's pretty close to Vaulter Central, which means we're going to be in conflict with the Vaulters soon, but also, I mean, that was going to happen anyway. Let's take over Libra over here. So we're having some manpower problems because now we're trying to fill the garrison here for defense purposes. Unfortunately, we don't have a really easy way of generating manpower. Food is tough for us. But we're definitely going to go Holy Proliferation. Yeah, I'm not sure what the right move is as far as food goes. We're going to need some, obviously. We also need to generate actual attack ships. This is powerful, but it's less good for us than it is for other empires in a lot of ways, because their population on their best system will be higher. We probably need to make sure we actually build a combat fleet first. So let's start with that. Let's queue up some combat ships. So bullet weapons are fine. High DPS, obviously, really only effective at close range. We could go to a laser weapon instead. The DPS of bullet weapons is high, but you have to remember that they only actually produce 85% of that DPS, even at their most effective range. That said, I think we're going to stick with bullets for now. We have an extra support or defense slot. Let's put some shielding in. Shielding's powerful, and the energy defense is also nice. Split our defenses a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's a fine ship. Let's queue up a fleet of those. But we may end up warping our hero back to. I mean, exploring is good XP, though. You know, we do want to keep doing that. Why don't we... I don't have any curiosities to explore that we can see. Let's just kind of pick a couple of directions, launch probes, and yeah, we probably are pulling the hero back pretty soon. I would prefer, if something happens to our scout ship, that our hero not also be injured. Alright, somebody has pirate marked us immediately. The icon for this image is not quite here. We've discovered Planet Auriga, the home of Laura. So, this AI, this Vaulter AI, was able to find the Auriga system with the colony ship right away. So they just got to start developing there. That's pretty good for them. We've also met the nearest over here, and they are... they have an Unfallen as their ally. So there's an Unfallen probably just over there on this, right over here, on the same constellation. And that's the source of this pirate mark. The fact that we got pirate marked as soon as we met the Vaulters leaves very little question as to who did it. We have one more turn before... I guess we'll just fire off another probe here. One more turn before we have another ship to warp the hero back to.
The Oregon Confederacy seeks only knowledge and a true place to call home.
I'm displeased. Not sure what the best thing to do is going to be here. Do we want to just go to war with them early while they're relatively weak? They're probably actually strong relative to us at this moment. This is now population lost. Oh, we're negative food here. Well, when the drone networks finish, fortunately the population meter is just about full. This circle. So once we're positive on food, it probably won't take too much to push our population positive again, but I think if we do this, we're just gonna lose the pop point to starvation again. It might be that doing this gives you a full bar, like a full circle. So it might put us at 2 with the thing almost full. I guess this is a good time to test this, even if it does just end up costing us essence. It's not like it'd be very much. Here come the pirates. Grab our hero and head up here. 1 gouge plus the hero ship will definitely be more than a match for that pirate fleet. And you are... Let's see, we did some science stuff early on. But I did not pick up free move. Well, we probably should, right? Also, this will give us some extra curiosity detection power. So, we have mushrooms. Right, what's our rate of mushroom income? +6. Okay, we could just do level 2 modernization on that. Yeah, it's relatively cheap. A lot of extra science. I want to finish the ships first. I want to get this done as quickly as possible. Okay. Oh, an election. I think we want to keep the religious party in power. It looks like we've generated a bunch of pacifist improvements. Let's throw our official support behind the religious. We have a 2-party government right now, and nobody was going to pass the pacifists for sure, so let's just make sure we keep the religious in the government gaining experience. So we're losing our cool thing that lets us beat up on people while we're at Cold War. It'll come back. The pacifists are going to get pushed out of the government pretty badly, I think. Oh, there are 2 pirate ships. Well, okay. Consideration is not available. They are attacking. So, let's have a look at Libra. Yes, it does add 1 full population circle. So, if we could get our food to be slightly positive... Oh, man. Discovered a new curiosity. If we could get our food to be slightly positive, it wouldn't be that hard to get the next Vodyani population to grow naturally. It would save us essence. That might be the plan. We're getting some approval with some various minor factions. Our government's all screwed up now. We got this. I don't want this. We also have this. Oh, the pirate fleets maybe they're different factions of pirates or something, but the point is they didn't combine. So we're going to absolutely obliterate these guys. We are going to watch it happen, though, because this is our first chance to take a look at our ships in action. I think that we have actually really cool ship designs. This is definitely the only action we're going to get this battle, so... Yeah, as you can see, we're crushing them already. Like I said, I think our ships look pretty cool. Of course, hero ships always have the same look, no matter what faction you are. These are also neat looking, though. Oh, you know what? I didn't look at our hero's ship design. Apparently we have missiles, so these close-range combat tactics are not ideal. That said, I mean, obviously, we crushed that. Let's kill this other pirate while we're here. Oh, okay. Well, we don't need to watch that, because it's just going to be exactly the same thing. Okay. Nice, easy battle, nice, easy level. Let's grab some fleet health. So, what was I going to do? I definitely was about to do something. Alright, we're working on that. Got our baryonic shielding, so at this point, I think what I want to do is have this scout ship probably, like, come home and start looking around. We see another player over here. Like, maybe let's go to Procyon. Yeah, like this. Do whatever the shortest way back to Procyon is. Okay, it's gonna be a minute. I don't know that I want to take this right away. Like, I was kind of thinking about just running a ship over here, an arc. But I think probably what we should do is really settle in on these vaulters And then once they're out of the way, or while we're getting them out of the way, we can come and take you, Bella. Okay, so you guys just play defense mode right here for the moment. Alright, in a couple of turns, we'll be able to assist them. If we do that, we cannot assimilate them. You see, the text here is for everybody. We don't assimilate them into our empire, but we do sort of take them over. They become members of the church. They worship us. Hopefully. If they're really into us, we can maybe convince them to send us some soup. But I think this is probably where we're going to have to call it for today. Let's go ahead and queue up this, just so I don't forget. We definitely want lava colonization. We need to make another ark to send home to Cygnus. We need to build more population. We kind of need to get the food situation under control over here. We're about to have a fleet with which to do some marauding. We have a lot of options ahead of us. So, come back next time to see what we make of those. And actually, please feel free to leave ideas for what it is we should do next down in the comments below. And we'll see you then.